Hello, friends. Welcome back. Let me push this. Hopefully, it's not too loud while I push. Welcome back. Uh, Unfortunately, not early this time. I was trying to do this early, but didn't work out that way. That's all right. I've been reading a lot of Vinland, which kind of caused that a bit. Just having fun with that and everything. I kind of want to, that's reaching its end, and I enjoy that series a whole shit ton. So I'm trying to just go through that as it's drawing close, and then I'll finish it around the same time that everybody else does and all that. Sounds like a fun thing to do. Even though I already have stuff that I should be watching and should be reading and all that, based on my Twitter name sort of thing, like the nickname sort of thing. Uh, Going through that instead. I mean, I intended to go through that recently. Anyway, that doesn't really matter right now. Welcome back to another ReZero reaction. We're here for the final episode of the core. I am very excited. I've seen some of the previews and stuff like that, and they look really great. All that sort of shit. I am glad that because I think this is something I also noticed from Twitter posts. I think some of the colored posts by people, not to judge them, but I think some of the colored posts kind of misinterpreted how some of the scenes are supposed to be. Obviously, I think what's probably going to be the last scene in this whole thing that can be bright because of how it is, but something to point out is it's nighttime, right? It is like for a lot of the illustrations there, it's nighttime and everything like that. So it might surprise people to actually like see it like this because, yeah, yeah, this is accurate. It's dark out for them and everything, so it makes sense. Um, but I am glad to see, like, okay, because I think that sort of thing kind of threw me off even when I was reading it. Like, I won't lie, even some of the actual drawings themselves, the sky is definitely, like, shaded and everything, but it wasn't to such a degree that I could really tell too much, right? Because I feel like when you're shading the sky to be like night, it's usually a lot darker and stuff like that. You either use like a really dark gray or you use full on black, right? Because full on black can be used and all that sort of shit. It happens all the time with inking. You just have to, be careful with your lines and everything, make sure they're well defined enough that you can tell what's what, right? Um, but I think I was surprised by that originally, just because it's like, oh, it's just like a really lighter kind of gray in the sky, and that's what makes it look like night. Just a little odd to me. But getting the whole night sky thing out of the way, I am very excited for today's episode. I've seen the new key visual, looks fantastic. I love that everybody is aligned with essentially who they're gonna fight, like specifically aligned, right? Not even just actually saying that is funny because of what the front of it is. Um, but specifically like not even just characters who are facing each other in the actual uh poster, like the new key visual, but characters who are in the exact same spot are also, the ones who are going to be facing each other, which is really damn cool. I like that a lot. Um, I don't know what else to say, honestly. I've said a lot without like or with all this sort of stuff and everything. I mentioned the Arc 6 stuff last time. I feel like there was something I was actually going to mention that I wanted to mention here in regards to all of this, and I don't remember what it was. There was something I was trying to keep in mind because I'm like, oh yeah, I can mention that next time or whatever, and I do not remember what it was at all. Fun. Well, anyways, this episode is going to have a lot of really great moments. I know for a fact because I mean I've read it, but also this is, despite this being the shortest volume and the most simple, this does have some really big stuff at the end, and we're at the end of it. So this is going to be fun. And then in February, when we're all back, we get the big action stuff, right? We get the part that some fans are looking forward to a whole lot. Some fans are gonna just have as a nice cherry on top. I'm honestly one of those people who would just have it as a cherry on top because even though I am huge on action, right? I'm even more huge on story and characters and all that sort of shit, right? My philosophy is I am always gonna go for a story that is really well built with its characters, its personality, its story, its world building, all that sort of shit, right? And if they have action on top of that, absolutely that's going to be one of my favorites. However, if they're not going to have that sort of story moment and everything, they've got to have really damn good action, right? That's my philosophy always, is if that's not going to be there, this has to be there in full force. And if that's there and this is there, that's probably one of my favorite series, right? It just works like that. I'm a simple man, right? I am a very simple man in that regard. Anyways, let's open up these little windows and get things ready, shall we? It is still technically earlier than usual for me, so this actually does still work out, but that's fine. Anyways, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we're skipping the opening, which is fine. I do wonder if we'll skip both opening and ending. Oh, I love that episode. It just cuts right back to it. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's a +2. That's a really good joke for an episode as like kind of serious as this one is. That's a really good joke for it. Really good way to make a joke while doing that sort of thing. So I was talking about the joke there, so I didn't fully notice some of the dialogue, but I wonder if they already did and I just missed it, or if they are even going to explain what they are referring to with that stuff. It might not, and I mean, it might be fine because obviously, if they mention it later. So yeah, I wasn't sure if this was even in there because of Priscilla being there early. That's funny. Yeah, right. I forgot he also shows up here. Right, yeah, that's the big thing is like, yeah, she includes herself in there because of like, oh yeah, he did a good job. It results, kind of demand these things. They are explaining it. All right, cool. I don't think too many people do. It is funny that, and I think I mentioned this on podcasts and stuff like that. But anybody voiced by, I believe, is it? I don't remember the first part of the name. I know it, but I don't know if it's like Hito or Hiro. Um, but I'm just gonna say Koyasu because I believe that part is correct. I know him as a VA, I mentioned this in podcast sort of stuff, where he has two, voices he does. It's like either characters who use ice or characters who are villains. Sometimes both. So I'm always skeptical when I hear him in a show, right? And Roswell just so happened to not use any ice, so I immediately suspected him of pulling some shit. And funny how that worked out for Arc 4. Oh, here we go. How does she look? Now we get to now we get to see her. Mm, mm. Dude, after seeing his leg, oh god. Hi, Fierce. How's it going? Probably not great. Uh, it's gonna look awful, ain't it? Oh god, Krush. Dude, I actually, oh my god. Remember how last time I talked about how, like, the area around my, like, nose and eyes, like, how you could always kind of feel that before? Yeah. Oof. This is actually doing a number on me, dude. Just think about EX1 and everything, and just like, oh my god. You did not deserve this, Krush. And, yep, here we go. So, something I want to point out that I mentioned in my review, I believe, is it's very interesting in regards to. Yeah, hold on, let me just. Yeah. Oh, that's such a cool visual. Also, that's animated really well. And then there it goes. I also like the piece here. Yeah, it's fully there. So something I was gonna point out is damn, okay, hold on. I'm gonna keep my thoughts for a minute. I do want to enjoy this scene. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, after EX1, that's like, that's twice. Trying to be quick because I know this is going to go into a major scene as well. Something interesting with it is the implication that this could be obviously there's stuff because as you saw with episode 6, I believe, like there's the curse from the previous mobbies and all that. So here we go. But it's also fair to imagine that, yeah, which we would have seen if some of the EX stuff was adapted. Which is fine that it wasn't. It's just, could have definitely helped. And then there's mentioned, yep. But it's fair to imagine that the black blood stuff could also potentially be a result of witch factor sort of stuff. And I think that's the likely thing because notice nobody else touching Krush gets it on them, but Subaru specifically does, right? It's a chance that, yeah, it's because he also has it, but there's also the chance of like, well, it could be a factor sort of thing because he has some of that shit in him, right? Already, so. And now we're gonna explain why we're not telling him. Yep. Yeah, so I don't remember fully if I think this gets slightly brought up with the Julia stuff and is skipped over uh like here. From what was implied when I talked about it with my brother on a Brosticast thing that will be up on the main channel soon. Um but yeah, I don't think they talked about everything, and I think I misremembered that. Yep. And unfortunately, the way it works, because it's a divine protection that gets passed down, is it can be at any point, and if that shit's passed down, there goes your ability to use a sword. Well, not necessarily your ability to use a sword, but more so this extreme mastery that you have of it. There it goes. Yep. And that's why that hatred is there. Well, like misguided hatred, as he points out, of just like it was something that passed down that resulted in Teresia's death, and it wasn't necessarily like a controllable thing. It just kind of happened in that moment. That's also why he recognizes for swordplay early on and everything. I do really like this moment of everybody just like choosing like, okay, I'm gonna go after this one, you go after this one, you go after this one. Yeah, the black blood stuff is something I'm always like curious about because it's like it is very much something like that has to be. Oh, that was a good joke. I did like that. I am also going to give the unfortunate news. Actually, I think I should do so now. Um, she might have a few more scenes here, but I will be completely and brutally real to anybody who is anime only. Krush has yet to be important again. She is very likely to be because, to our knowledge, there is an actual arc coming in regards to her and everything. Because everybody has their own like arc that at the very least focuses on them. At least everybody's reactions. Um, but uh, but at the current moment, I mean, it makes sense given her state. But current moment, Karush is not really uh doing too much. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to just mention that, just to like not let people down too much, ahead of time. She is very likely going to get screen time. I don't think Tepe is going to fuck this character over. He has yet to do so for a whole lot, right? The only character I can really say is Frederica. Uh, but I think also Frederica's introduction in the actual like light novel contents and also anime is a lot more simple and kind of makes her seem a lot more simple as a character, even though she should have more. As him deciding Kurgan, yep. Ooh, I can't wait to see that animated. Ooh. But instead, well, I mean, okay, yeah, obviously that because of yep. We're at the end. Oh, it's just showing the end. Okay. I was so confused for a minute. I was like, we're at the end? I didn't think so. No, we're skipping credits now. Oh, you know what it is? We're skipping credits now so we can do the Amelia scene without any interruption. Or like skipping through them, rather. You know what I mean? Dude, you got that glare like you were a teenager again. Holy shit, Wilhelm. You look like your young self. You look like that sword demon. I do really like Wilhelm's growth as a character. I know some people mentioned like, oh yeah, his method of thinking in terms of certain stuff is very old-fashioned and everything. Um, but I do legitimately like that he goes from a very old sort of teenager to, what he is now. And all it takes is, yeah, multiple people, but I mean, obviously, like one very important one in specific. And yep, here we go. I was so happy. Like, I knew about this ahead of time, but I was so happy when I, like, had seen this because I'm like, dude, him, um, this Subaru, Amelia, and like Reinhardt all together in this scenario is just like it's arc one. It's arc one again. It's awesome. The only thing it's missing is like Felt and Old Man Rom, but that's about it. Mm. Ah, that's great. I like how one part of their operation they keep a secret. I really like that. Here we go. Right. Yeah, no, 79 is yeah. I apologize for previous episode comments that I might have made. The numbers are important, but I forgot 79. I forgot that's important. I forgot how important that was. And there's specifically a detail they cut out and we go, oh boy, those reactions. There it is. Now you get to see the extra twisted side to his logic. Several. I'm so glad she's the one that causes this. I think like this part she gets forgotten by some people. I'm just like, this is like one of her best moments because she literally just goes, "No, fuck you. This wedding sucks." I wonder if they'll mention the detail. They probably will mention the detail of 79 if they're, gonna give that much focus to it and everything. Like, I knew about it, I remembered it when I was making those comments, but I think I failed to actually remember the part of, like, oh yeah, that part, that seat is left vacant because of. Hmm. Yeah. Mm. I like how he makes all of, like this. She manages to get everybody to react, even though the scenario is something like where they're not supposed to. Just oh, I guess because it's a thing of like they worry for all of their own lives because it's like, well, not their own lives, but worry for each other because it's like she is pissing him off to such a degree that it wouldn't be surprising if he just killed everybody. Yeah, I love that line. Love that line so much. Oh, his VA. Oh, they kick it down. Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, that's so good. I didn't even realize he hits him with the door. Oh my god, it's a remix of Tactic. Oh, dude, it's a remix of the fucking song. So damn good, dude. So wait, let me just go back. Let's just keep it on that. Oh, well, let's get rid of all of that. Oh, that was a good final, you know, section to it. That was beautiful. I like that a lot. Ooh, some people were worried about the lighting from what I saw, but like, nah, it looks great. Looks fine. I definitely didn't understand why because there is like certain parts here with them when they get, when they walk in where it might look a little odd, but like, it's bright enough. The moon puts enough of a light in there that it looks fine. Um, so I fully get, the worries there. Um, but oh, cool. Ooh, that was good. Oh, dude, the remix there at the end. Holy shit, the remix. Oh, that was awesome. That was really fucking good. It is like kind of unfortunate just sitting here seeing all this and it's like, cool, we gotta wait till February. Like I'm fine with that, right? It's not like February's that long in terms of being away, right? It's a few months, right? That goes by like nothing. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it's like, it goes by like nothing. Um, February's gonna be great, dude. Because it's like I said, like I'm gonna try and work on main channel videos through like this month, the next month, and the month after, like January and all that. But like by end of January or something, I get to start ADT back up, and then this gets to happen at the same time, and I'm like, man, oh, it's gonna be so damn good. I'm gonna be so damn happy. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very fun. Holy shit. I don't know what to say, dude. Like, I am floored. That whole episode was just really good. I don't think it's like on the same level as the speech or episode 5 and all that sort of stuff, right? I think it is a lot more like calm in certain senses. The cruise scene was beautiful, right? I do want to mention the cruise scene was beautiful. Really almost got me. Um, that was adapted super well. Uh, the explanation being in there with Teresia is nice. All this, them planning. It is like kind of a more simple episode because a lot of it is planning, which is totally cool, right? That it's important to get that down because now you know what's going to happen with the next core, right? I'm kind of worried if people react to that like harshly, in terms of like the reaction of being like, man, half of this episode was just planning. It's like, yeah, chill. The next core is gonna handle exactly what you want, right? We have to plan now so you understand what's happening later, right? Um, but kind of, I mentioned that episode one, like I mentioned this on Twitter, of episode one is the ultimate filter for people, because this is like the big action arc, right? So it's like if people are willing to stick around with it and enjoy the exposition and all this sort of stuff, they'll love this arc. Uh, I think I was wrong. I think it's the whole first core as a filter because there's a lot of fantastic stuff in there. But people sometimes complain that there's not enough action and all this sort of shit going on, and sometimes it's just people talking, which, I mean, okay, listen, I want to respect everybody's opinions here, but I am going to be real sometimes and I'm going to critique stuff. If you are saying that, allow me to say, how have you made it this far? Right? Did you just join in with the third season, or were you watching like while on your phone? Because it's a thing of like there is physically no way you would reach this point and go, it's just a lot of people talking. Dude, that's the series. That's the series as a whole. Characters talk because they have to build the character, and then also at the exact same time they have to build the world and the story and all that. I never fully get those critiques because they don't make entire sense to me, right? You could like expand upon that and maybe go into specific things and I'd be like, okay, fair enough, right? Like I might see eye to eye with something there, right? But like, or maybe not necessarily eye to eye, but I would see something there that I could, reason with and be like, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But a lot of the time when I see those critiques, they don't make sense because it is literally just, how have you made it this far? Right? Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I really am not. But like, how? Right? Um, but I think this core is like the actual ultimate filter because as long as you can get past this and you enjoy it a lot, you're gonna fucking love the second core if you are a big, action fan, all that sort of stuff. Like you love seeing fights and stuff like that. You will love core two. Core two is gonna be fantastic for you, right? That is gonna be a beautiful one. Because I don't think they like hesitate at all with any of that shit. It's not like, oh, here's just massive exposition. It is just fight, 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 fight. That is that whole core. Like at most, the last maybe few episodes or so won't it'll slow down. It'll still have some of that, but it'll slow down but that's about it, right? A lot of that is still just going to be fight, 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 just like in the previous episodes, and it's going to be good, right? I think people are going to really enjoy that core. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just in case anybody's anime only who is seeing this, look forward to that, right? That's going to be fantastic. We do have to wait until February, but I think that is totally fine, right? Um, I've occasionally seen comments about people getting mad that it has like a split core in there, and everything, and I don't know why, because that's happened before with other animes. ReZero's is actually the shortest I've ever seen. I'm gonna be real, right? I have seen other animes do that type of thing, and they last like a while to get to that second core. Like the original Thousand Year Blood War, core one and core two stuff, right? That was a difference between like end of December and like July. And then I remember with Spy Family, that was something similar of like November or some shit, and then roughly the same point, like June or something like that. And it's just like this happens, right? But like ReZero's is like one of the shortest I've ever seen because it's like the end of November right now. Like we are late November right now, and it picks up again at the start of February. There is no time at all in between that. There's a few months. We have a few months of downtime from this. That's about it, right? Whereas like Thousand Year Blood War, right? Like right now with the current core, it's probably gonna be like next year or something for the next one. It's probably gonna be like same time next year at the minimum, right? I personally feel. So it's like I don't know, and not same time as ReZero. I'm saying same time as like its current core when that started, right? It's gonna be that time next year. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a short amount of time, so it does surprise me when people make like comments about that. I'm just like, man, why the hell are they doing this? It's like we're barely waiting. Chill. Still, though, in terms of the episode, this was great. I love this. I love the glow on this, and of course, chapter or not like essentially chapter and episode name plus that moment in there that relates to the name. Mm, fittingly, I love that shit. Ooh, I'm so excited for the second core. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be very fun. And when that comes around, I am probably gonna start the whole Arc 6 thing I mentioned of just reading Arc 6, uh, you know, physically and all that via the light novel. Going through that before the anime actually comes out. I just have to make sure. I will absolutely be caught up with Vinland because I am on, what is it, the 11th volume? I'm on the 11th volume. I'll be caught up by then. Literally, I went through like 3 volumes the past 2 days or so. Um, but I gotta finish being caught up with that and probably finish that because by that point it might be done. Um, and then I also gotta wrap up. I mean, there's gonna be other stuff I'll be reading before then, but I also gotta wrap up Ichigo 100%, which I am really looking forward to in terms of going through and everything. Like this is gonna be a fun one, most likely. Uh, yeah, I don't know what else to say. This is gonna be quite interesting in February and all that sort of shit. And while I go through Arc 6 and everything, I am looking forward if there's a trailer in March, whatever it may be. That'll be fun as well. Actually, you know, I was saying that it might not end by the end of March, but thinking about it, if it's starting up at the start of February, can I pull up my calendar on this screen? No, I can't. Okay, unfortunate. Um, I mean, I know February is typically like 3 weeks or something like that. Sometimes, maybe not always, but let me look at the general schedule of it. So February 5, then so that's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. Yeah. So honestly, depending on when the TV Tokyo whatever the stuff is happens, the core might be done by then. So honestly, if they announce like Arc 6, that is like the perfect time to do so because it's like, yeah, if it lines up with end of March, that's also when the core is done. So it's like we have the end of that and everything. Oh, we're getting new opening and outro and all that when that comes around. I totally forgot. We're probably also going to get a trailer. We're likely going to get a trailer before it comes out, like in January, maybe even December, maybe even soon, right? I think for right now, the reason we have a key visual is just because we're not going to get anything too much just yet. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a trailer, and I just don't know. I mean, I can double check some things. But yeah, I mean, in terms of this stuff, right? Here's what I will say: as a collective whole for the core, that was great. I really enjoyed that as a collective whole for the like core and everything. Really damn well animated. Really, I'm just like trying to check this at the exact same time because I want to be sure. All right. It doesn't look like there is any trailer stuff, so that's fine. Yeah, I think the key visual is meant to give us something in the meantime, and we'll get a trailer later. Uh, you know, score and everything was fantastic. I really loved the score during Capella and Sirius's scenes because it felt unique, right? It felt twisted, it felt creepy, but at the same time, it felt unique for both of them, and I love that, right? Also, the Tact of Heroes remix this episode, fantastic, right? Already, I am very excited to hear that. Feels very fitting to hear it and everything in this sort of moment. Um, because I mean, technically, like I think the first time it plays is Arc One, like with how the fight ends, I believe. Um, so it feels nice that it's also playing here. Um, again, animation, everything, and lighting, and all that, and just like the color to it, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love that it's a similar style to the actual series. I know the actual series is a little inconsistent with some like designs and everything, and some of it is not super great in terms of certain choices. That said, I think this fixed a lot of that, right? I think this looks absolutely great. Um, I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, voice acting, phenomenal, right? Love the performances here. Uh, Aoi Yuki as Capella was absolutely a fantastic choice, right? Sirius's VA is fantastic. Liliana's I'm enjoying, right? Liliana's is getting me to enjoy Liliana as a character, which is good. I again, I don't want to hate this character the way I did because of the web novel, but like, you know what? I'm starting to enjoy her now, and that's a good thing. That is a really good thing, right? Um, just in general, performances here were really damn great. Crucia's VA absolutely killed it with episode 5 and all, and like episode 4 and all that. But also the performance here and sounding like really just destroyed. That was great. Damn, I love this. This was awesome. I am so excited for the second core. There's so much that's gonna happen there. We're gonna get the best fucking backstory in the series, in any series I've seen, right? Don't put your expectations too high on that, because that's just a me personally sort of thing. That said, you might also really enjoy it as well if you're an anime only, right? We'll get there when we get there. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very fun. Alright, with that said, I think we do wrap it up. I would love to talk more. I would love to be here. It's kind of sad. We're signing off and we're not coming back till February, right? I almost don't want to do it. But we do kind of have to sign off here. It's unfortunate, but that's how it works. Alright, peeps. Take care. Have yourselves a great night. We're going to end off here. And with that said, I guess I'll see you all in February, or maybe with the other reactions and stuff like that. I still gotta get to Mob Psycho. I keep fucking telling myself I'm gonna watch season 3 this time, and then another year passes and I go, I'm gonna watch it this time, and then so on and so forth. Hopefully at some point soon I actually manage to sit my ass down and just force myself to do it. And then there's also Bleach, which I'm kind of waiting on. Just because, like, I fucked up on the upload last time. I did record my reaction, but I fucked up on the upload and forgot to actually upload it. So I just decided, you know what? There's a new episode already. There's a new episode Saturday. I'll do the reaction to both of those, and I'll just compile all 3 episodes into one reaction, right? Works best that way. But yeah, so I'll be back, in case anybody wants to watch those sort of reactions or whatever it may be. Maybe a certain series that I've watched on the channel might come back before, that point, like in February, who knows, right? I mean, if it doesn't, I'm cool with it, right? But if it does, hey, I'll be back even sooner then. Um, with that said, though, I think we're gonna sign off here. And if you're here for the ReZero reactions, you know, I guess I'll see you in February. It'll be a while, but I'll see you then. So take care. Have yourselves a great night. Stay safe, and I'll see you all next time, peeps. Farewell.